Hello everyone, it's Phil Jones from Projector Reviews, and joining me is Scott from Panasonic. And today we're going to be talking about some cool applications for Panasonic projectors, as well as some new models. So Scott, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking, and I hope everything's okay with you.
Yes, it's great. It's a beautiful Friday. Before
Yes.
we get started, we'd like to thank our sponsor, AV Pro Edge and Murideo, for helping me put on the Fall Projection Summit, where we talk about all of the great things you need, whether it's projectors, screens, and even cables and video distribution to make a great projected experience. So Scott, we are here to talk about some great, cool applications for Panasonic projectors. And we have been a big fan of Panasonic projectors. Several of them have won awards on our site because they've always delivered an amazing picture quality, whether you're looking at a small compact unit or a very large unit. You guys are one of the leaders when it comes to the business side of projection, correct?
Yeah, I think Panasonic has done a pretty good job in terms of market penetration across the board. Typically from the 6,000 lumen and above range, we're pretty strong shareholders.
You guys have a very wide range of projectors. Something that we need to talk about today is higher education. Schools are starting to go back into session, so higher education is a channel that you're really working with, correct?
Absolutely. The higher education market is very important to us strategically. We feel that we have a pretty strong presence across the board in terms of overall penetration within that market.
So what are some things in higher education? What are some of the things that they're concerned with?
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty consistent across different types of applications, whether it be a classroom or a lecture hall. As an example, a small classroom, 20, 30, 40 people, lecture hall, 100, 200 people. The thing that's common to both types of scenarios is certainly picture quality, okay? Reliability. We're talking about mission critical types of applications because the product's got to work. So reliability is very important. But at the same time, when we engineer the product, not just for picture quality and flexibility, but also we keep in mind that in a classroom, the overall noise rating has to be as low as possible. So as an example, we typically go in our quiet mode down to, let's say, 25 or 26 dB. And basically that kind of a noise rating is hardly noticeable. Very important whether it's a lecture hall or a classroom. So overall picture quality is important, flexibility and reliability are the three main attributes that we design a projector to be able to deliver in those types of applications.
And depending on also the application too and the level, ease of use is incredibly important because sometimes it is just the teacher or the instructor that has to fire it up and connect their projector. And then sometimes there's a problem and IT doesn't want to have to walk all the way across campus to figure out what's going on. And they also want to make sure that all the projectors are turned off for summer. So there's some other things that we have to talk about as well.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you raise a really good point because as in most cases in higher education, in my experience, the AV managers are responsible for many, many, many different classrooms and areas of the university or the college, and they don't have a lot of headcount. So you're right. There aren't a lot of people to be going around doing kind of maintenance or other types of operational issues. So with our projectors in particular, most of them are virtually maintenance free. You turn it on, and particularly with the laser projectors, you turn it on, it goes on in seconds, as opposed to older models that took usually 30 seconds to a minute to warm up and get going. They're virtually maintenance free, filter free, so they didn't have to change lamps, they didn't have to change filters. And you're right, so ease of use is definitely something that's very important as we design projectors.
Yeah, and you can monitor them remotely. So you don't, and that's an important part because I can't tell you, I've been I have a friend who's a teacher, and they said that she came back from the summer and the projector was still on.
Oh, gee.
It's like,
Oh my gosh.
that's a laser has thousands of hours, but that's not how you want to waste thousands of hours. So
It's true.
so there's some other
And,
things too that are
yeah,
really, really.
and you really raised a really good point, because outside of projectors, we also offer what we call multi-monitoring and control software. To your
Mhm.
point, it can help monitor and control over 2,000 projectors. Okay,
Mhm.
so you don't have to be physically there. You can be doing it remotely, and you could turn things on or off. Should that case happen where you leave it on over the summer vacation?
Exactly. The other thing too is like high brightness is actually more important as well, because now we have to look at social distancing. So we are going back to school, but we want to keep the students further apart. If they're further apart, a lot of times they're further away from the particular screen. So you need to have a larger screen to make sure that everyone, from the front of the room to the back of the room, can see it. And a lot of times I've seen actually classes now being done in large tents for outdoor venues, and you need to have something that's bright enough to overcome any kind of ambient light and be able to be easily seen from way, 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 way back.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, in the 6,000 lumen and above category, we have a lot of solutions. And certainly making sure that you can deliver that kind of brightness is really critical. Used to be years ago in a classroom, a 3,000 lumen projector was the target. Well,
Mhm.
nowadays, that's no longer acceptable. And certainly we are seeing a trend going to the 6,000 lumen easily in that
Mhm.
range for classrooms.
Mhm. Another thing too that I need to stress to everybody that's watching this is a lot of times you see these insanely high lumens measurements, but most of the time to get that measurement, the colors are just wrong, you know, and it's almost like they over exaggerate what you can actually use to make a good accurate picture. And what I've noticed about Panasonic projectors is if they give you a 6,000 lumen rating, it looks good at 6,000 lumens. It won't be its perfect mode, but it's a usable amount of brightness. And even if you go in and you set it to one of its most a really more color accurate mode, like you're trying to do, maybe look at some art or color critical applications, it still delivers a decent or very good amount of its rated brightness at that application. Because I've seen many projectors that say they're 10,000 lumens, but by the time you make the faces not look green and the red look like the corporate color or the school color, now you're looking at a 2,000 lumen projector. So high brightness is important, but the ability to deliver vivid, bright colors and utilize that lumen count is also important as well. Now that leads me to the next thing. So if we're talking about the ability to project art, concerts, and things like that, live experiences are finally coming back. Yay! I've had the opportunity to actually go to a couple of concerts. We're talking concerts, houses of worship, museums. Those things are starting to come back, and that's another big focus for Panasonic, correct?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I think that the country, if not the world, is eager to get back outside. We've been inside for too long. There's a lot of pent up demand, not only for shopping or dining experiences, but also entertainment. And that also includes sporting events and so on. So yeah, it's really important. And I think one of the other things that we focus on at Panasonic is not just the hardware, but also when we're talking about live experiences, we couple that together with immersive experiences. And
Mm-hmm.
what that means is fundamentally getting the visitor to whatever the venue is, whether it's a museum or like the Illuminarium exhibits, getting people so that they feel that they're part of the action, where that is from floor to ceiling, 360 degrees. They're immersed in this experience. And I think, what's important is not just the projection, but also the software, the content, and also one of the things that we at Panasonic think is very important is technical support. And that's something that at Panasonic we are very, very much plugged into. We have the skill, the talent, the field engineering, the factory support that helps really put together, everything that's needed, not just the projector, to pull off a really exciting, immersive live event or immersive kind of experience, whether it be a museum or other kind of applications that draw crowds that want to be part of the action.
A lot of times these installations, in order to do it, are not using one projector. They're using multiple projectors that can either be edge blended to increase the aspect ratio or the size, or stacked. So you see a lot of edge blending, projection mapping has to be involved in this interactivity that is involved in many of these displays. So having a company that understands that has the technical support, that can work with other people and other partners to with you to make sure that whatever your vision is in a museum or at a concert or even at a house of worship, you get the experience that you're looking for. And that is one of the benefits of Panasonic. And like I said, depending on the size, the scale, and your budget, they have a wealth of products to do so. One thing we want to talk about now, Scott, is new models, because you have a couple of new models that kind of relate to the two things we were just talking about, whether it's higher education, live experiences. And the first one is the PT-MZ880 projector. Can you talk a little bit about this unit?
Yeah, sure. The PT-MZ880 series includes 3 different models. The MZ880, there's a 780 and a 680, which deliver 8,000, 7,000, and 6,000 lumens respectively. They're all the same resolution, WUXGA 1920 by 1200. These are LCD, using LCD display technology. So they deliver really terrific color. A couple of things that are really unique about this is the MZ880 from its predecessor has edge blending capability. The MZ prior to that didn't have. This also picked up another HDMI. So the predecessor had 2. This has 3 HDMI inputs. So it has a little bit more flexibility. It does have capability to operate with our Presit wireless presentation system. So that really is a benefit. That's an option. It doesn't come with it, but I did want to mention that. MZ880 is also compatible with the new ultra short throw lens that we're really excited about. That's the ET-ELU20. It's an ultra short throw lens with a 0.33 throw ratio. And this is really very important, particularly for applications, of course, in a classroom potentially, or a museum for that matter, where you really want people to get up close to the image that you're projecting without casting a shadow. So the ultra short throw for LCD has been something we've been looking for a long time, and now it's here, it's ready to go. So the MZ880 is a really great option for more budget conscious kind of applications.
We were finalizing our review on the PT-MZ880 and we loved it, like pretty much every other Panasonic projector that's out there. So by the time this video is up, you'll be able to actually go through and look at the detailed review on the PT-MZ880. And we also did a review on the Panasonic Presit. So if you want to learn about their wireless presentation solution, you can also check that out as well on projectorreview.com. I'm a big fan of ultra short throw lenses for commercial applications because it does open up a wealth of options. So how many different lenses are going to be available to go along with this projector that can be utilized with this projector?
Altogether, there's going to be 7 lenses, including this new ELU20, that cover a pretty wide range. I don't think there's any gaps between throw ratios. So it really is a very well thought out lineup of projector lenses. Yeah, and also I wanted to mention about the ELU20 because yeah, it's the 0.33 throw ratio. Yes, that's important. It's got 2 other attributes that I think are also worth mentioning now. Number 1 is it's 0 offset, and number 2, it's powered. So these are 2 very important elements that add value to this lens beyond the throw ratio.
Maybe you should have sent me one. I want to play with it.
I'm sure we could arrange. I'm sure we could arrange to get you all.
I would love to take a couple of shots with that. Now, the last we want to talk about is the PT-RDQ10. That's a lot of letters. So what's going on with this guy here?
Yeah, you're right. When it comes to model numbers, we are in a league by ourselves. No one does it better than Panasonic. But the RDQ10 series is really important, and it really kind of just shows that our commitment to 4K. And this is a new series of projectors that are 3840 by 2160, delivering 4K. These are all single chip DLP projectors. There are 3 models in the series. The RDQ10, which is a 10,000 lumen projector, the RDQ90, which is 9,000, and then the RDQ80, which is 8,000. So we have 3 different models, single chip. They are all, their native resolution is 2716 by 1528 native, but they do deliver with our smooth pixel drive and one-axis wobble. They deliver the 4K resolution. So really very excited about this projector for a whole host of different applications, whether they be museums, exhibition, entertainment types of applications, education, of course, and business. We're just seeing a lot of movement towards the 4K. This is a great projector that we think has a lot of potential. There's a lot of other features, a lot of other added value within this series of projectors that I think are going to make this a bestseller in very short order. We plan on starting to deliver these at the very end of this month, or starting in November.
So have your lens options, including an ultra short throw lens. It has all of the cool Geometry Manager Pro software, so you can do edge blending and projection mapping. A lot of cool tools. Even has the smart projection control. So IT guy, you don't have to walk all the way across campus to monitor and control the thing. So lots of capabilities built into these projectors.
Yeah, you know, the RDQ series also has slot NX compatibility. So we have 5 optional boards that people can get, whether it's DisplayPort, fiber, HDMI, DVI. We have different boards that are available. It also has near NFC, near field communication compatibility. So to your point about using a smartphone, you can use this for, you know, copying or editing different settings and going from one projector to another. It's just really, you know, it's part of the improvement on usability and flexibility. It just makes using this projector a lot easier for different applications.
So Scott, is there anything else you would like to talk about today before I let you go?
Oh gosh, we could go on for quite a long time. There's not enough time, but I just think that right now we have these new projectors, the RDQ series, coming out. I'm real excited about this. The initial reaction that we've gotten from the market is very positive. You know, and Panasonic is you know, we understand that we're going through a pandemic out there in the market. It's making things very challenging. We're doing our best to satisfy our customers and work with our customers as best we can, and we'll continue to do that. Customers are our biggest priority, obviously, and we'll continue to do what we can to support their needs.
I am a big fan of Panasonic projectors, always have been. My only wish was they would make a consumer version of some of these things. So because sometimes the picture quality is so good, and people are like, I could probably use this in a theater if I wanted to. That would be the one request, is maybe take a couple of some of the cool ones you guys have made and maybe make a couple of consumer facing ones. That would be awesome. That's the only thing I would request for Panasonic.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to pass that request on to the factory and let them know that you've expressed a strong desire to see us get back into home theater.
Exactly. So as you can see, Panasonic has a wide range of projection solutions, including a couple of new models. To learn more about their complete lineup, check out Panasonic.com. And to learn more about the projectors that we have reviewed, we have several great reviews of Panasonic projectors on projectorreviews.com, as well as the new review on the PT-MZ880. So Scott, thank you very much for your time and coming to talk about Panasonic projectors.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Really appreciate it.
Hopefully I will see you in the holidays or in the spring. So take
Hope
care,
so.
everyone, and we will talk to you soon.